My name is Bailey and welcome to my channel. Today I am going to be giving you a book haul. There's going to be a lot of books in this haul, and this is like ranging from like two of these books I got in April, so I haven't done a haul in like a hot second, so we're hauling these books today. Let's haul the books, you know? A lot of these books have bookmarks in them because I've started them and put them down. So, you know, I'll talk about them individually and what's going on with me and them. So, yeah, let's go. The first book I have to haul is Vicious by V. Schwab. This book I bought because it's the group book for the supervillain team for the Biblio games. And so, you know, gotta pick that up. And, yeah, I haven't started this yet. I intend to start it before the end of the month. But, yeah, I have it. What I can explain this as is there's two people. What are their names? Eli, Victor and Eli? Victor and Eli. And they used to be friends, and then they were, like, messing around with near-death experiences causing extraordinary powers, and now they're not friends. And now they hate each other. That's the best I can do for you for a description. I kind of don't really understand, and I mean, if I don't understand, how am I going to make you understand? So that's my best description I can give to you. I want to read this by the end of the month, obviously, because it's the group book. And I know a lot of people like this book, and it's been hyped to the nines. And so is V. Schwab as an author. So, I want to, like, check it out. Yeah, we have that. The next book we've got here is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. This is the first book in the Grisha trilogy. As you can see, I've made a sizable amount of progress here. I think I'm like 37% through, so doing well. I'm reading this for the Biblio games. I'm buddy reading this with a few other people. Yeah, I've started this. Should I give you a description? I should. Okay, so basically this follows Alita Starkov, and she was like, I'm not a Grisha, but then it turns out she is a Grisha, so she's a sun summoner, and she goes into this, like, she goes into the world of luxury, and, like, the Darkling, this Grisha dude, thinks that she can destroy this thing called the Shadowfold, which is basically, like, darkness that separates, like, splits Ravka, which is where she lives, where these people live, in two, and they need to, like, get rid of the Shadowfold if they're gonna, like, not die. So, yeah. You know, I would describe it better because I know spoilers about the series and I would describe it better for you, but I can't. My thoughts so far with this book, I know a lot of people, like, really dislike it. Like, it doesn't age well for a lot of people, which this is a very old book. It was written in, like, what, 2012, 2013? One or the other. And, like, I've read 100-something pages of it. And I felt that. Like, it's a 2012/13 book. The tropes are real, and I hate Alina at this point. Like, I don't want to say hate. I dislike her. She's not a good main character. She's boring. But the story itself is entertaining me enough to keep going, and I've really wanted to read Six of Crows. I've tried so many times and just couldn't get into it because I didn't understand the Grisha world, and I find that reading this book, they explain the Grisha as soon as they really get, like, put onto the page. So if it mentions a word, it's going to be explained within the next few pages, and I really appreciate that because now I really understand the Grisha magic system and the world that they're in. So I feel like going into Six of Crows, having at least read this book, it'll be so much easier. You don't need to read the Grisha trilogy to read Six of Crows, but just for me, it just wasn't working trying to read it without. So I think after reading this book, it'll be a lot easier. Well, at least this book, maybe this series, it'll be a lot easier for me to get into the Six of Crows duology and then King of Scars maybe. You know. So, you know, my verdict on this so far is that it's not bad, it's not good, and it's entertaining me enough to keep going. So, next up we have Paperweight by Meg Haston. This book I kind of bought on a whim. I just bought it one day when I was at the bookstore. I've seen Emma Books hype this up a lot. I read like the first 16 pages just because why not? And, yeah, this follows Stevie, who is in a eating disorder facility. I think so. Like a treatment facility for eating disorders. Or other disorders. I know that she's in there for an eating disorder. And she doesn't intend to complete her treatment because she intends to commit suicide on the day that the anniversary of her brother's death. Yeah, so she like believes she caused her brother's death, and she intends to commit suicide on her brother's death anniversary. Yeah, so it follows Stevie in her recovery from an eating disorder and her quest to suicide. I'm assuming she doesn't commit suicide though. Yeah, that's this book. What else can I say? I can't really say much else. So I have it. It's here. Next up, I have The Devouring Grey by Christine Lynn Herman. This book has been hyped a lot. The hype's a little died down because it came out and it's been a while since it came out. Well, a little while since it came out. I picked it up, I tried to read it, and I hated it. I hated what I read. I just couldn't get into it. But what I got is that What's-Her-Face moves to a town. What I've got is that Violet moves to Four Paths, New York, and she is a founding family, or member of the founding family. And then there's also Justin. He's also a founding family person. And then there's Harper, I think is also a founding family member. I don't know. There's these three people, and then there's the Grey that keeps like killing people. It's devouring. Worst description of my life, but Harper's pissed at Justin because he left her in the Grey, and she lost her arm in the Grey, and now she wants to get revenge. Violet's just there, and now there's like, I think it's all the founding families are there, like all of their heirs, I guess, are there in Four Paths at this point. I really don't know. So many people have talked about this book though, so like if you want a good description, don't come here because I'm sorry, I can't deliver. Yeah, I just found it very hard to get into, and it just felt really bland for the pages I read. So maybe I'll read it in the future, but right now it's not in the cards for me. Yeah. Next up we have Paper Girls Volume 1 by Brian K. Vaughan, Cliff Chiang, Matt Wilson, and Jared K. Fletcher. I actually already read this, and I did enjoy it enough. It's just like, okay, so this follows this group of people, and literally, I read this book, and I've kind of no idea what happened. So it follows these people, they're paper girls, and they deliver paper, and then they're delivering paper one night, and these, like, alien sort of people, but they're kind of like time-traveling people, show up, and they're like taking people. What is happening to them? Yeah, like supernatural stuff starts like taking people and like killing people and everything, and so it follows them, and they're like trying to beat it, I guess. I won't say they're trying to beat it, they're trying not to like die. So yeah, there's also time travel, which randomly shows up at the end of it. You know what, I enjoyed this book enough. Now that it's been like a month or so since I read it, a month or two or so since I read it, I have no idea what's going on. So like if I were to read Volume 2, I'd need a hot recap. This book to me is confusing. I hate time travel. Time travel is like my least favorite thing to read about or like watch things about, because it's just messy and it pisses me off, and it's just So yeah, nothing else really to say about this. Like, I would recommend reading it. It was good. I like the art style. I thought it was very nice, and it was very pretty, and it was very I don't know, interesting to read. It's just confusing. Yeah. Next up we have Spinning by Tilly Walden. This is a autobiography of Tilly Walden. That's it. Autobiography graphic novel. Going through Tilly Walden's youth as a figure skater, also being lesbian, yeah, in a sport predominantly like occupied by girls, and it kind of goes through how her passion for figure skating like wanes as she gets older. And I actually really enjoyed this graphic novel. I actually picked it up because I saw Heather from Aphrodite Reads talking about it on her channel. She had hauled it from a thrift store, I do believe. And so I was like, hello, I'm a figure skater. I should get that. So I did. I bought this book, I read it, and I rated it 5 stars, I think, on Goodreads. I'll link my wrap-up below where I talk, or my wrap-up in the cards where I talk about this book. I want to review it, and I have a review all written out, but then, like, I haven't filmed it yet, so I'll get on that. But, I rated it 5 stars on Goodreads, I do believe. I feel like I like this book. It was good. I thought some parts were a little bit, like, confusing where, like, the timeline was and where we were at. But other than that, I thought it was really nice. It was really emotional at times. But, yeah, it's Pride Month right now. So, like, it was good LGBTQ rap. That did not come out well. It was some nice LGBTQ plus rap. Specifically lesbian, obviously. That wasn't the main focus of the book. I had actually gone in expecting it to be mainly focusing on her sexuality in figure skating. It was a lot more to do with figure skating and her waning passion for it. And, yeah, that wasn't, like, unwanted. It just wasn't what I expected. Being a figure skater myself who has struggled with my passion for the sport many a times, I actually really related to the main character. So, I like it. If you're in a sport, I think you'd like it as well. I think you'd have a deeper appreciation, I feel like, for it, because you kind of get where the author's coming from. Not to say that if you're not in a sport and you read it, you're not going to have an appreciation for it. I don't know. I'm just going to say that if you're in a sport, I think it'd be a very valuable read. Next up, we have Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I started reading this. I'm like 100-something pages in. I do intend to finish it. But, yeah, I just put it down for the time being. Stuff was going on. Other stuff came up, you know. So this book follows Daisy Jones and the Six, and it basically follows the rise and fall of the band, basically. So it follows how the Six and Daisy Jones got together and became a band, and then it kind of, like, shows, like, or, like, talks about why they, like, broke apart. And it's all, like, an interview style, so it's, like, them talking about what happened. Do you understand? Like, the characters in the band talking about the story, basically. So it's not written like normal prose in which it's like, he said this, and then she responded with a sigh. Like, it's not like that, you know what I mean? It's very, from what I've read, the narrators are very unreliable because obviously they're relaying a story, and everybody's recollection of a story isn't going to be the same. So from what I've read, like the first 100 or so pages of this that I've read, that's actually really interesting to me. And, like, the prose are pretty easy to read. Like, the writing is easy-ish to read. The writing also isn't special to me. But there's a few issues I'm having with this book, so I don't actually see... Like, right now I'm not loving it as much as, you know, everybody loves Taylor Jenkins Reid and Evelyn Hugo, and, you know, I'm not loving it. But I'm trying it out because everyone's hyped this up and they love Taylor Jenkins Reid so much. So, yeah. Ooh, we're gonna get into some fun territory here. We have Again But Better by Christine Riccio. So, we all know this book and Christine. When I first got into booktube or whatever, like, not doing it, but, like, watching it, Christine was one of the first people I watched, and I remember, you know, it's just such this, like, journey to see someone that you've watched for a while, you know, accomplish something that's so important to them. And me being someone who wants to be an author one day, you know, it's really inspiring to see someone else achieve that goal. So I want to support her, and so I bought the book. I've read 50 pages of this. It's not exactly wowing me yet, and it took me a very long time to get through those 50 pages. It just wasn't easy for me to fly through the beginning of this. So I'm still gonna currently read it. It's just, like, again, the Biblio games especially have come around and, like, pushed aside stuff I was currently reading because I have priorities for this month. But yeah, this book follows Shane, and she is going on a foreign exchange sort of program to London, or Europe. London, I do believe. Because she's trying to, you know, it's her second chance at a university and, you know, trying it again, but better. And so what I know is that basically she goes to London and then something happens, or, like, she's, like, there and then we live out that timeline or whatever, and then time travel comes into play. Honestly, I'm not sure. I just know it follows Shane. Yeah. I've read 50 pages of this, as I said, and, you know, I will continue it. It's just right now it's not my top priority, but I do plan on getting around to it, so yeah. Strange the Dreamer by Milady Taylor is next. I'm also reading this, and I'm reading this for the Biblio games, and I don't like this. This book follows Laszlo Strange, and he is very mystified and intrigued by the lost city of Weep, Presumably it doesn't exist anymore, it never did, but he is determined to find it. And he finds it. He goes to weave. And I'm how many pages into this? I'm 45 pages into this. It's just, we're not meshing currently. I've had to put it down for a hot second because I could feel it putting me into a slump. So we're working on this one. But yeah, I bought it. We have it. Next up, we have Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. I bought this yesterday, as well as another book that I'll show you in a second. But like, everybody's seen this book around. Everybody's seen the hype. We all know. People have been crying over this book all over the internet. So yeah, this is a new adult romance. And okay, before I go into the description, like, this book is beautiful. Like, it looked adorable online, but then I bought it and I'm like, this is so freaking cute. So basically, this follows an alternate reality where in the 2016 election, I do believe, that was when the election was for president, a woman Democrat won, and yeah, it follows her son. It follows him. His name is Alex. So Alex is like the first son of the United States. And Henry is the prince, I do believe, of Britain. England? Prince of England? I don't know. But they like have a romance, and you know, true love isn't always diplomatic. I'm excited. You know, everybody's hyped this up and I'm like, oh, it's Pride Month, I want it. You know, I really want to get to this because, you know, everybody's loving it and I want to be part of the love. Like, and there's not much else I can say, really. It's just like, everybody's been loving this and I love a cute gay romance, and guess what this is? A cute gay romance. So there's also been some drama about it, which I did tweet about. Like, I tweeted about the drama, even though I haven't read the book, but I tweeted on the drama about it over-sexualizing, or being over-sexual, or like fetishizing gay romances, which I can't speak on it fetishizing because I haven't read it, but on the over-sexualizing, like, or being too sexual or whatever, they're literally books with straight porn in them that nobody thinks is too overly sexual, and then like, if a gay couple has sex in a book, everyone's like, oh my gosh, what a scandal, and I'm like, what? So that's all I really spoke on Twitter. Yeah, I'm excited to read this. Yeah, I'm excited to see like whether or not the drama is justified, which I don't think it is. I've heard from a lot of people who have read the book that it's not, but yeah, we'll see. The last book I have to show you is a doozy. We have After by Anna Todd. I'm actually currently reading this. I started reading this yesterday when I bought it. I'm currently 132 pages in. So I made like a sizable dent in it in one night. So I mean, that's great. I'm annotating it. I've already run out of red tabs, so it's a tragedy. So yeah, this book follows Tessa young, and she is going to university, and then she gets all wrapped up in this bad boy business. She gets so her roommate's like part of the wrong crowd according to her mother and her, and she basically gets like wrapped up in their world and meets Hart and Scott, the bad boy, and there's a romance there. A romance. I started this, right? I don't love it. And you know, it has a reputation preceding it, right? And that in mind, you know, I'm trying to give it a fair chance. I talk about it more in my vlog that I'm doing for the second week of the Biblio game, so I'll link it up there when it's out. But yeah, I have something to say about this book, though. This cover. I wanted to buy the blue cover. The reason being is that the blue cover only has words on it, so it's like calm. There's no way I'd ever bring this out in public, but like, it still looks more chill, and like, you can walk around your house reading this and your parent isn't gonna go like, what? So yeah, but they didn't have that cover, and they only had this one, which has a half-naked guy on it and a girl like making out with him. And I'm like, if you want someone to be able to buy your book and also read it, what? This was a bad decision. Like, I feel embarrassed to have to buy it. Like, I went to buy it and I put it down like upside down on the counter, praying the person checking me out wouldn't like pick it up and show the cover. Like, that cashier, he a homie, he didn't turn it over, so thank you. But, like, it's just, I don't want that in my face. Like, you know, make out all you want, but I don't want that on my book cover. So, this is what we have here. I'm working my way through it. Yay. We all know if this is Harry Styles fan fiction, or originally it was. So, I mean, like, that's an interesting angle, you know. I've been reading this, and every once in a while I'll stop and be like, this is about Harry Styles. So, that was my book haul. Let me pick up the books. Let's be a booktuber. Ah! Oh my jeebers creepers, my man. What the f? So these are the books. So these are the books that I hauled today. A big stack, my friends, and we're making our way through them. So yeah, that is what's up. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you later. I've been Bailey. Bye-bye.